Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher Realms. Today we'll be checking out Erlang Shen. And this hero really confuses me. There is some use cases, but it's so niche besides the bond skill. But anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so Erlang Shen is a very cool looking hero. He does have a lot of utility with him. As far as, but the weird thing about him is that he is a defender, but he acts like a fighter, and his stats are not really all that high. So we go over to his stats here. He's starting off at 4872 for attack. His damage is all based off of attack. So the hero is really weird at the 22.8k HP. This is not a lot. And you can see that, let's see, go check out his gear. It is for a fighter. If he was actually classified as a fighter, 35k would be really nice, actually a whole fighter unit. But you're not tanking with this guy. I tested him with Artifact Material Raid. If you want to go and search my video out for Artifact Material Raid, I actually did some defenders. Who's the top 5 defenders, or defenders versus each other. I can't remember the exact title of the video. If I remember, I'll try to put it in the description. But anyways, I did tests on Oleg, Cyrus, stuff like that, and see how long and how many stacks they could last on AMR 18. He's like 3. It's just not there. But his damage is good, and his reach is really unique. And he does bring some very unique things to the table. Alright, so let's go look at his kit really quickly here. Increases damage reduction by 15%. So he has like a built-in damage reduction. Don't let that fool you. If you go and hit a tempered will on there, you got 30% plus 45% or 15% equals 45%. And it's not like he's that much more durable. Trust me, it's just not that great. Every 4 basic attacks, though, if there are at least 2 enemies within the ultimate range, summons Howling Celestial Dog to attack 1 enemy within the ultimate range, dealing 90% damage and continuing to attack other enemies nearby the target, hitting up to 3 enemy targets consecutively. Howling Celestial Dog inflicts defense reduction when attacking. This is big. This is a 30% defense reduction. We'll test that out in today's video, see how consistent it is. Just kind of give you like a viewpoint to see if he can actually be a good, ground unit defender for Abyss or something along those lines. I don't think so. I think he's gonna be really hard to keep alive, but maybe it's gonna be possible. I don't know. We'll see going forward. But anyways, yeah, it's a very nice defense reduction. You can use this on the bosses. It is AoE. You can use it on AoE stuff like AoE Arena. You can really use it on Tag Team Arena or Anti-Air Arena also, because he does hit anti-air. And you're gonna be able to use them on like Gear Raid 1. You're gonna use them in all kinds of AoE content, right? So pretty much anything that you can really think of. If you're struggling to get your attack high enough, or you're struggling to get enough damage out, this is going to help you out. But there is more to help with that later on. But first, the bond skill. Increases the maximum number of targets that can be inflicted with Heaven's Gaze from the third eye by 2. And enemies inflicted with Heaven's Gaze deal 20% less damage to the hero. This is if you have Neja. So it's just basically letting him inflict Heaven's Gaze on more enemies. Heaven's Gaze, though, you need the bond skill for this. This is going to be very important for his kit. If you don't have the bond skill, the defense reduction isn't going to be that fantastic. But this is 20% vulnerability to physical and magic damage on top of a 30% damage or defense reduction. And we're talking like high tier assist unit, right? High tier utility, if you would say. But the damage is decent, but it's nowhere near like god tier or anything along those lines, okay? Alright, under the basic attack, deals 120% AoE damage up to 5 enemy targets 1 time, can target airborne units, okay? Hound Assault, each time, it's like I'm reading a book here, each time the Howling Celestial Dog attacks, increases its owner's damage by 5% for 3 seconds, so he's going to get up to 15% boost because it stacks up to 3 times, if he can attack fast enough, and the Howling Dogs happen to trigger. During Third Eye state, talent attacks are triggered, summoning an enhanced Howling Celestial Dog to attack 1 enemy within the ultimate range, dealing 150% damage to continuing to attack other enemies nearby the target. I kind of said that up there already. Attacks up to 6 enemy targets consecutively, prioritizing targets inflicted with the Heaven's Gaze. The dog's gonna come out, do a bunch of damage. Just a Hound Assault. We'll check that out in a little bit. But yeah, it's just basically a bunch of damage that's going on in here from the dogs. Sacred Wellspring. Next passive increases damage dealt to airborne targets by 35%. So if he's attacking air, he's going to be doing an extra 35% damage. So when it comes to like Gear Raid 1, where the units are coming and they're not flying, he's going to have like just a standard damage. When talents attacks are triggered, additionally restores 15% of the hero's HP. So a little bit of like self ability to heal. Basically, he's going to be able to heal himself a little bit if the talent triggers. All right, so arena cost reduces the hero's cost in the arena by 5. I think his cost was 18 or was it 17? Oh, 19. So it's gonna bring it down a little bit, bring it down like to 14 cost. It's nice to have, especially in the arena, and he is actually really useful in arena. If you didn't see, this is the range that he has. But let's go on over to the ultimate. Look at that range. It's like Setram range on the ground, man. Okay, so it's insane reach. So I want to say like early on in arena, if you're trying to pop his ult, he does take care of the enemies pretty good and a really high BP. Later on, he's going to be offering you that defense reduction, and he's going to offering you that vulnerability, and that's going to help you other units that you place later on get the damage output. Okay, so it's going to be a big deal, honestly. Inflicts Heaven's Gaze on up to 3 enemy targets in range. During this effect, increases max HP and attack by 20%. Each basic attack alternatively deals 20% extra damage or inflicts 1 stack of Radiant Erosion. Increases basic attack range. So you can see it has the big increased attack range. Radiant Erosion deals continuous true damage based on defense of the inflicted target every 2 seconds. You stack this up to 3 times. How much damage it is based on for the defense, I don't know the percentage, but true damage is pretty good because it's like passive damage. A Radiant Erosion, I should say, is actually good because it's passive damage that he doesn't need to have anything really built into his kit for. It's true damage, so crit doesn't count, and it's also based on the enemy's defense. So the higher their defense, the more damage it's going to do. All right. Now, there's a few awakenings in here that are kind of key. The first one is during Third Eye, when an enemy is eliminated within the ultimate range, restores 20 rage. Can restore up to 300 rage per Third Eye activation. So that means if enemies are dying while he's assisting taking them out, and they're in his range, he's gonna get that 300 rage. Awaken level 2 is attack plus 300. Awaken level 3 is the hero deals an extra 25% damage to targets inflicted with that Radiant Erosion. When the enhanced Howling Celestial Dog attacks, additionally he's going to inflict more slow. The slow is going to be a 50%. So it's not 75%, it's just kind of the mid-range slow. Yeah, HP plus 1200. Awaken level 5 is when taking fatal damage for the first time gains Unyielding and increases received healing by 50% during this effect. Can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. Now the first thing I think of when it comes to the Unyielding typically is Abyss 1. But I think that we have to think a little bit more outside of the box with this guy and Neja as well. Well, both these heroes are they're bonded, and I think they're kind of built for the Malik trials. Obviously, Neja have already shown that he does a really good job with executions in Gear Raid 121. Does it with no power dominance, no anti-heal. And I know like a lot of people have said some comments on those videos like, oh, my Valara can do this, and it's like, yeah, which other heroes do you have that can do that? There isn't many, okay? There isn't many, and I don't know if people want to just scoff at the hero or what, but that is very rare in this game to be able to solo Gear Raid 121 with no anti-heal for anybody. Ingrid struggles with it as well, and she's one of the biggest AoE DPS units in the game. Valara gets it done because of all the control. Neja gets done because of the executions. But both these, you know, what's special about Valara, right? Valara is very good in Malik trials and some arena and GVG, and it's like this niche stuff that they're good at. Erlang Shen is going to be in that same category, I believe. Being able to bring him down to like those like level 5 keystones and putting him down to help you get past those defenses, get past the extra vulnerable damage, all that good stuff is going to be key. Now, the first thing I was thinking though was being able to bring Kratos and pop a 60k key on Abyss 1 using a Praetus team, right? So I was thinking like I'll bring Praetus and then I'll bring Erlang Shen as a defender, the tank, and it just really wasn't playing out that way. He does not survive. I just pitted out in like full HP. He comes out to like 90 to 100k. It's not good. Ares is like over 110, 120, somewhere in that range, and he struggles to keep alive. And even though he has extra 50% damage reduction, it just doesn't work. But sorry about all the talking. First, I'm going to go over how we're going to test the hero. And basically, I have this page builder here that, if you're a content creator, by the way, just let me know if you want to help me test this out. Eventually, I plan on releasing this page builder to everybody. It'll automatically put your logo in here, the date, and the shares here. And then you could be able to add like little widgets and stuff and tables and create your own data sheets or your own pages or whatever you want to be able to create. And I'll be able to add more widgets in the future through coding and whatnot. So just let me know in the comment section down below, or get a hold of me directly on Discord or on the website. Just send me a DM. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I have his card in here. He's a defender, he's a Supreme Arbiter, he's a Starpiercer faction, and then I have some tables here. We're going to test out a few things. Soulbound Arcana versus Infernal Roar. Cataclysm could be a thing. He does a lot of AoE damage, so the damage is probably going to be there. Although I don't really think I have the gear required to do anything special with that. And oh, maybe I do here. So we have the Starpiercer. Nah, I'm not going to have anything good, guys. It's just not really worth digging into if I don't have the decent gear for it. Let me look just a little bit more here. There is some gear, but I'd have to really dig. But for right now, I'm going to assume right away that Cataclysm is going to be a good set. And if you have the exclusive pieces, it's going to be that much better. But anyways, Erlang Shen, Soulbound Arcana versus Infernal Roar. So what I'll do, I'll put a normal guild boss, run Soulbound Arcana, run Infernal Roar, and then see which one it comes out on top. And I want to have like a nice general area so that's safe for him to go, and I don't have to worry about anything else or any kind of variables mixing in with the build. So he will not have an artifact on either. It's just going to be his flat gear, right? And then once we figure that out, we'll go from there, decide whether or not if it's Infernal Roar or Soulbound Arcana came out on top, start deciding what artifacts we want to test versus the exclusive artifact. And if the exclusive artifact needs level 25 to beat out a standard generic artifact, or if you can do it at level 10. From there, we're going to bring it up to Infernal Roar or Soulbound Arcana, plus the level 25 exclusive, and start awakening him from A0 to A1 to A2 to A3 to A4 to A5, running these tests through there as well, and seeing what kind of percentage of damage increase we can see out of him from doing those tests. And then we'll go over the end of the results, and also test Warlord versus Wicked Vengeance, because sometimes, you know, Wicked Vengeance is better, sometimes it's not. It really depends. We might skip that because typically nowadays Wicked Vengeance is better if you have nice quad rolls. Anyways, so let's get into it. So the first thing's gonna be Soulbound Arcana versus Infernal Roar. So let's get this artifact off. Unequip. Here we go. We're gonna start off with a Soulbound Arcana, and I will actually get his stacks as well right away. So let's go in the guild boss. We're gonna head over to normal. In normal, there's none of those like annoying pop-ups and stuff like that. And let's see if I can't get some. Would be a good one to stack up really quickly. Well, Diao Chen is usually. Let's see, get Diao Chen. Not Aelin. Diao Chen. See, fast rage regen. Heroes that I can just pop their ults as soon as possible. I think a lot of these heroes can probably just go down and do it as long as they don't interfere. Yeah, let's go. Let's just do this. All right, we're gonna keep. I don't even have him on the field here. We're gonna keep Neja in the team for now. He's gonna go under Praetus. Yeah, I think that. Well, let's put him under Yovar so we don't have the Lord ability messing with our results here. All right, so there he is. He is missing his artifact, that's why he's crossed off. He does have the Soulbound Arcana set with Warlord. His total stats are coming out to 32k HP, 20k attack, 20.4k attack, 1.5 second attack interval, 287 crit damage. Everything else is just pretty much flat. Let's go into the playtest. We're gonna run it. Let's get her done. Let the testing commence. Sorry about all the chit chat, guys. I'm just trying to explain to you how I'm doing this. I need to restart that because I was too slow. I want to make sure that I get these heroes out fast. Alright, pause. 1x. Alright, so I'm going to start out with him. Like this. I think I'm going to place Cyrus up. He should cast an ult. Place Yao Chen over here so she's not actually casting any ults on anybody. She should get a stack right away. We'll put Eloin over here. It's not a good one to put out. We'll put Yovar over here. We'll put Percy over here. And then we can put down our Oleg. Just try to get a bunch of ults out. And we'll also cast automatically as well as soon as possible. I'm going to take Cyrus off. We should be pretty close to stacks here. I had one from Cyrus. We had one from Yao Chen. This is going to be his third. We're going to activate right now. And just let him do his thing. Activate Yao Chen again. That's going to be up to 4, I believe. Well, wait, won't even let me activate Yovar. That's kind of a dumb thing to bring him out. Activate Yao Chen, we'll get these guys off the field, and then we'll put on auto and let it ride. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just let this ride until the end of the fight. We'll see what kind of damage he comes out with. He does have some radiant erosion, but the defense isn't really high. It's going to be better if you take him up against a high defense unit. But at the same time, I'm just trying to get his attacks off here. Anyways, I will be right back. Alright, there we go. It came out to 27.7. It's just not that much, guys. It's not that much. Let's see what we have. 27.452. Let's enter that in. Soulbar Arcana's 27.452. Oops, wrong one. Okay, down here. 27.452. There we go. So that's in there now. Now I need to go and test Infernal Roar. And a lot of the testing today is going to be kind of weird, out of the ordinary for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the Soulbar Arcana set, and then I'm going to figure out which one is better, Soulbar Arcana, Infernal Roar. Talk about that just a moment, and then I will go into just basically like a large time lapse, where you can just watch me testing these things. And alright, so here's Infernal Roar set. You can see we have 11% more crit damage, 23 healing effect, doesn't really matter, and just a little bit more attack. Soulbar Arcana versus Infernal Roar is always a little bit weird because you can get that Infernal Roar stack. It's just 40% off the bat, so it's kind of hard to tell. But if Infernal Roar works, it works. And if it works, I usually assume that it's better because people are going to want to get that damage right away. Depending on the fight. Okay, so let us restart one more time and get that 2x going. I'm not really feeling any kind of like single target damage with this guy at all. Like, it's just not great. So in this fight, he just gets to go on the field too as well, and just without any other heroes kind of interacting in any kind of way, and just do his damage. So I just get to be able to put it on auto and then put it on 2x. I'll bring up the damage numbers, let you see what's going on, and then you can see his little yin yang come out there. I think that's supposed to be his. No, that's his swing. I don't ever see the dogs do anything really. While we're looking at here, you can see this decreased defense does drop off during the ultimate, it looks like. I wanted to check that out too. Sorry, we may not time lapse this portion of the video here. All right, there's that decreased defense and the vulnerabilities. No, the decreased defense is not up. We just have the vulnerabilities up right now. No drop defense. So it must need multiple targets or something to make that work. So it's not gonna be, I don't know. I don't remember what the kit said offhand. Well, let me actually go and look here. Let me go and look. Let's take a peek at it. Erlang Shen. Alright, so the physical attack. Where's that decreased defense? Is down here. Following Celestial Dog. So how do you get the dog out? Every 4 basic attacks, if there are at least 2 enemies in the other right, summons Howling Celestial Dog. So you can't even do it against single target. It needs to be multiple target units or enemies on the field in order to even get that decreased defense to pop. So the whole Abyss thing is just out the window already. And that's kind of like what I was thinking originally with Erlang Shen, and like, but maybe he can work out on that in replace of Ares, and you can run Praetus, and you could actually run a Supreme Arbiter team on Abyss 1 and, you know, break nice high numbers and stuff. And that's not the case. That's not what he's going to do well for. I think his damage is already higher. What did we have before? 27.4, so that's not higher yet. But it will be. It will be. It will be. As you can see, like a single target, it's just not that impressive. And he's not doing any healing either. 27.9, 28. You see Infernal Roar is definitely a good option, guys. If it equals to or is higher than Soulbound Arcana, I always suggest to use Infernal Roar on that hero. It's ready to go right when it goes out on the field. You don't have to really worry about anything else. So let's see what that is. 30 million, well, 30,022. Right here, 30,000, 0.2. You guys get to see me build this time. Results show that Infernal Roar is best for the right side gear. Cataclysm's probably going to be better as well, especially if you have the exclusive pieces. Alright, so we get to keep this the same. What artifact should we start out with? I'm going to explain a little bit of testing, and then I'm just going to kind of cruise through it in a time lapse, and then you come back and we'll go over the results. Let's see here. Erlang Shen. Artifact. There's a few options here. We have his exclusive, Triple Bladed Glaive. Increases damage by 20%. It already sounds pretty good as far as damage. Hound Assault is enhanced. When Howling Celestial Dog attacks enemies, enhances the owner's damage. And this effect can stack up to 6 times. Each stack also grants Erlang Shen 3% physical damage reduction and magic damage reduction for 10 seconds. It just screams Maloric Trials to me, honestly. We have this one here, increases max HP by 5% and damage by 10%. These are all defender pieces, so that's the weird part about it, right? But he also can use like Astral Obelisk to get back to his ultimate more often, keep those vulnerabilities and decreased defenses going. That might be something that's super useful for actually like Gear Raid 121 or Maloric Trials. And then we have things like Tuning Crystal to help keep alive, a little more survivability, wouldn't suggest it. We have the Dragon Blood Gauntlet, our Goblet, increases defense by 12% and damage by 12%. Yeah, none of this stuff really screams out. There's not a lot of good defender damage pieces besides just coming back to the ultimate really quickly, right? So I think we're gonna go with the Cadaver Dagger, and the increase of damage at level 25 is gonna go up to 20%. You know, I'm actually tempted to just really skip this. This is gonna increase his max HP by 5%, which means a little more health, and damage by 10%. And then when taking damage, so if he gets hit, it's gonna go up to an extra 10%, which at level 25, Cadaver Dagger is gonna bring him up to a 20% damage increase. We already know that with the Triple Bladed Glaive, he's already getting the 20%. That's gonna at least match him, plus all this other stuff where he's stacking damage and stuff. There's no way any other piece is gonna actually be better than his exclusive. I just don't see it happening. You guys can call me out in the comments for this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see anything else bringing him to that level. Anyways, let's just go ahead and equip his artifact here at level 10. What we'll do, instead of comparing it versus a different artifact, we'll just compare it level 10 versus level 25 just to see the artifact value. Alright, so let's go back. And I will see you after this time lapse, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do all of these. Test the awakenings. I'm going to go through it all and just let you guys watch, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it instead of just continuing to keep going through. Keeps the video a little bit shorter. Anyways, I'll see you after the time lapse. Alright guys, as you can see, I am back. I'm going to hit publish on this one, and I will preview. And we'll head over to it, look at the page, and see what we came up with. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. That's kind of a new style thing. I think it's a little more convenient for me. I let you guys see everything. It's a little speedy, but it's still able for you to see it that I'm actually testing it. Alright, so let's go down here. So testing for single target, I mean, Soulbound Arcana is 27.5k, or 27.5 million versus Infernal Roar is 30 million, so Infernal Roar is going to be the best set. Taking that down with the exclusive artifact brings it up to another 35.9 million. With the exclusive artifact level 25 brings up to 38.9. At the A1 brings up to 39. Oh, 39,999,000. Yeah, it's not much. A2 brings it up another 2 million to 41 million. A3 brings it up to 45, so the A3 does give a big chunk increase in damage. And then we go up to A4 and A5, and it's going to be HP plus 1200. That's not going to help with damage. And the A5 is more survivability, that unyielding ability passive that he gets. Now, testing Warlord versus Wicked Vengeance, it goes from 45 all the way up to 51.8. Don't let this be misleading though. The fact of the matter is that it really depends on the boss or enemy you're going up against. If the defenses are really high, you may say that Warlord's going to be just fine, because the extra boost in attack, you get extra 15% attack, doesn't quite equate to the extra attack speed that you get from Wicked Vengeance. But typically, it seems to with these new type of heroes that we're getting. So with that, I want to reiterate that this is not really a single target unit. This is more of an AoE DPS unit, and I want to go and show you a little more examples of what can happen here with this hero. So we're going to Gear Raid 1 right away here. Come on, get me out of here. I didn't click on that. All right, Gear Raid 1. And I want to head into, we're going to go to stage 21. What we'll do, we'll keep him under Yovar, and I think I want to use a mage that doesn't have a lot of damage. Let's see here. Well, Boreas has a lot of damage. Virna has a lot of damage. Let us do... You know what? I think we're just going to use Boreas, actually. Yes, I think we're just going to use Boreas. I'm going to actually just auto-equip him. No, I don't have to do that here. We'll put some gear on him quick. We can put on the Soulbound Arcana set that he was wearing, which nobody is wearing right now. Perfect. Alright, so we have him sitting at 21.9k attack, which is really high. And then we have him at 100 or crit capped and 290% crit damage. The interesting thing, actually, sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. Actually, I want to go and use an AoE physical DPS hero. And I think Nyx is going to be a good one for that. Nyx will be a good one for that, because you can see her damage numbers go out. She's also going to be better in Infernal Roar, but I'll just grab the one that's on Boreas anyways. Let's see here. There it is. Now why I want to bring Nyx, because he's bringing the decreased defense, and he's also bringing the magic vulnerabilities and the physical vulnerabilities, but the two together, so if you're doing physical damage, is going to be where you're going to see the biggest increase. And this is how you can use it in Malorix trials if you have them behind or ahead of Neja or any kind of hero that's going to be doing physical damage, Ardia, whatever. This is going to help them out the most. So let's go ahead and get Nyx down, and we'll test her out, seeing how much damage she does without him being there, and putting out the decreased defenses and the vulnerabilities and all that good stuff. And then we'll see what happens afterwards. So we can just go ahead and put her right here. And I just want to make sure I really get them both out if I wanted to. Okay, I can. Alright, so here they come. I'm going to slow it down. Let's activate her. Let's see what she's doing for damage here. Hopefully you can get a good shot and see what's going on. Let's see, come on. Send your blades out. Nyx always attacks the farthest target. It's kind of weird. But, okay, it's 3.6 and 6.6. Yeah, it looks like 3.6, 6.6 is what we're looking at for the most part. Let us go ahead and you can see she's not actually doing a ton of damage. Let's just put him down and see if we can get his ult going, see what he does. Yeah, she's not in invigoration, so we're good. I don't think he's putting anything up yet. He gotta activate his ultimate. Here comes his ultimate. Between the two of them, you see here, I think her damage went up to 14 to 15k. We're seeing she would have done barely any damage at all. She's damaging over here, but basically he's an assist utility unit is what's going to be happening. He does do some decent damage, so if you bring him over to like arena, that's the next one I want to show you, is like anti-air arena or AoE arena. He can come in and he can do a decent amount of damage, especially early on. Let us head back to the arena quick. This is gonna be a really long video, guys. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I'm not really sure, you know, with this unit, how to actually show you how to use him, or how to explain it. It's gonna be utility for AoE is what it's gonna be. That's the way I see it going down here. Right, so let's go fight. Let's go to our defense. Let's go to anti-air, and he's gonna fit right in this with this team, and right there. And we can kind of see how he reaches so far, just like Setram, but he's doing AoE, and he does a pretty darn good job at it, trust me. Alright, so, and it's all anti-air, so he can hit anti-air, hit AoE, all that good stuff. I think he should be able to get the damage out right away. Yep, here he comes. I think you put him right here. Yeah, he just kills those two really fast. There you go. There goes the next one. And now if I wait until the next group comes out, we can just go ahead and activate his ultimate, or you could hold it if you wanted to, or you could use Yuri right there. It really depends. He's not reaching that far. He can in his ultimate. I think you might have to do it off the bat though. There you go. See, the damage is actually decent for this. The BP is not that high on here, but it can reach, and I'm telling you right now that it does do really good damage. Maybe he'd be better one block up, but he does it. You know, you got the opportunity right now to place down more heroes. He's putting decreased defense down. I could put down our Nyx over here, start adding in some more damage, see what happens when we get them all out. And you hit them all. He's not quite reaching that one, but he will. It's decent, right? I mean, it's pretty decent. You can go ahead and place your Silas and stuff, or your Yuri would be down here, your Hatsuit. There's all kinds of theory crafting I think is going to work really well with him. Particularly in GVG, in Arena, and Malak Trials, and possibly a little bit in Gear Raid 1. Up to 21, I think. After 21, I think he's going to kind of fall off a little bit. Oh, here we go. You got some bigger enemies coming in. Let's see what you can do here. You take them out. Got a couple that's kind of slid by. That's all right. Anyways, that was kind of the point I wanted to show you. If you have any ideas or any suggestions or anything you'd like to see me test him in, I'd be happy to hear them out, and I will give it a go. Hopefully, I can get it done by the time he releases, so you can have a full good decision on him. I think he's definitely worth getting or trying for if you're going for Neja, because you're going to want that bond skill. That is going to be the one that is going to be huge here. Let me get over to Neja. He's going to be a watcher. Here we go. Bond skill. He's going to, during the ultimate, becomes immune to all debuffs and basic attack restores 5% HP. It's just going to help him out a little bit, right? He becomes immune to debuffs, which is going to help you in Malak Trials, and it just keeps screaming like Malak Trials for me. But it is strong in Gear Raid 1, 21, 22, 23, 24. I've proven that already. And yeah. So Erlang Shen is I don't know the word for it. Surprisingly awesome / surprisingly niche. And I wouldn't break the bank on them, but try to pick up a copy if you can. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, if you want to go and check out my results here, I will put this link up in the description down below, and you can go and see these results for yourself if you want to look them over. I'm also looking for suggestions for like testing that for different types of heroes. If anybody wants to like, you know, throw a list down in the comment section for me for what you would like to see for every type of hero that comes out, like a fighter, what test runs you'd like to see go through. That way I can create myself a template and give you guys what you want, because this is what I would want to see. But that doesn't mean that's what you guys all want to see. And maybe that's not enough, and then it's fine for me. I'd be happy to just go through this list, get this testing done, show you guys, but I do want to get these numbers out to you, and I do want to know what your opinions are. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I've been the Prospector, and until next time, keep digging.